Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you how to make this elegant and easy kaftan style top. Perfect for beginners, super comfortable and absolutely stylish. Let's start with the materials you will need. You need about 2 yards of light fabric like chiffon, silk or crepe. I'm using crepe, very soft crepe for this. You will need your scissors, chalk, measuring tape and of course your sewing machine. The first thing is to fold your fabric into two lengthwise. Make sure it is well laid. This is a very soft fabric, so you have to be careful. Then again, widthwise, you fold it. So you have 4 layers with the folded edge at the top left corner. This is where the shoulder is, that closed part. The next thing is to mark the full length of your top. For this, I'm going with 27 inches. So I'll mark out my 27 inches. The length of my top is 26 inches. So I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. That's why I have 27 inches. So I'll mark that out and cut it out. Then from the top corner, I'm going to input my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2, that's 8 inches. Then from that top corner, I'm going to be measuring out 12 inches. I'm going to be measuring out 12 inches outward for the sleeve. Then I'm going to go down at that edge by 1.5. That will be for my shoulder slope. For the hand opening, I'm going to be using 10 inches. So I came down from that edge by 10 inches. So whatever measurement I have at the top, I'm going to repeat that at where that 10 inches stop, which is 20 inches. Then I'll connect it and make it a straight line. So that will be for my hand opening. Beneath the hand opening, that is where the hand opening stop, I'm going to measure out 3 inches inward. That's to shape the blouse. If you want yours a bit fitted, you can just use your measurements, your bust measurements plus 5 inches. But this is going to be really free, so I just came in by 3 inches and I connected to the hem. Let's move on to the neckline. For the neckline, for the front, I'm going to be using 6 inches width and 1.5 depth for the back. So I'll connect that together. Then for the front, I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches and connect to the width of 5 inches. If you want it to have a V-slit neckline, just go ahead and cut a 4-inch slit down at the middle. Then connect it to the 3.5 that you already measured earlier. And go in by 1/2 inch at that point to form your V shape. For the back, you only need a shallow curve. That was why I used just 1.5 inches for the depth. So the first thing I would cut is the back. I'll cut it together. Then I cut out the shoulder and the remaining bodies before separating it to cut the front. So now when I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut the front neckline. I'll separate the front from the back. I lifted up the front piece from the back to cut out the front neckline alone. The next thing I'll be doing is to cut out the facing. I'll be using a facing for this. You can finish the neckline with bias tape, facing, or even by folding the edge in twice and top stitching it. I'm using facing for a neat finish, for a neat and clean finish. So I'm going to cut out facing for the front separately and facing for the back separately. So here I'm cutting out the front facing. You just follow the way the neckline is. That's how to cut the facing. You just cut out the neckline on the piece of fabric you want to use for your facing and add like 2 or 3 inches extension to it from the neckline. That's our facing. So now that we are done with cutting the facing, the next thing will be to join the fabric. So right side facing right side, I'll place the back piece on together with the front piece. Right side facing right side. Then stitch the shoulder together. Yes, stitch this point together. That's the shoulder joining. I'll do the same thing to the facing too. I'm going to stitch the shoulder together for of the front facing and the back facing. Now that I'm done joining the shoulder together and I've joined the shoulder of the facing together, I'm going to place the facing. And lay the fabric open with right side facing the facing. Pin it in place and sew it all around. You stitch it around. After stitching, you notch the corners, then flip it inside. Here I used an Emmy gum to finish it up. So you can just flip it in, and you either use an Emmy gum or you hem it with needle and thread. The next thing is to close to hem the hand opening at both sides. Just fold it into two this way and hem it. I'm done with that. With 1 inch, I'm going to be joining the sides of the top together. If you want a side slit, you can leave like 5 or 8 inches. You leave it open. Then you sew along both sides. For this is a very free top, so I'm not leaving any opening there. And finally, I will hem the edges. By folding it in twice, then I will sew it. Press everything neatly with iron. And your beautiful kaftan top is ready to wear. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you next time.